Right, today we are going to discuss our 9th paper, right? In this paper, we will discuss questions related to micrometer screw gauge, right? Let's see the first question, right, Budhe? This question is a special question. Before do this question, let's try to do usual questions. I will give 2 questions that comes as usual, right? Let's revise the theory point by using those 2 questions. Then we can discuss the first question, right? Let's see the 2 questions. Right, Budhe, let's try to find the answer for the first question. Budhe, according to basic theories related to micrometer screw gauge, if the main scale is calibrated in 1 millimeter, that is pitch of the screw is 1 millimeter. Then to obtain 0.01 millimeter least count, you need to divide this pitch into 100 divisions. You need to divide this pitch into 100 divisions in the circular scale. That is, circular scale is calibrated, is divided into 100 division. This one is first division, then 1, 2, calibrated in the clockwise direction. Did you remember we discussed these theory points in your class, right, Pudhe? Then this one should be 99, this one should be 98. Reading of micrometer screw gauge is length between main scale 0 and circular scale. Then you need to find this gap. You can take readings up to 2 millimeter by using main scale. Then you need to find this unknown length by using least count of the scale and circular division. 98 circular division coincide with this reference line, principal line of the main scale. This one is called reference line, 98. Then the reading is 2 millimeter plus 0.98 millimeter. Then this reading is 2.98 millimeter. This one is the reading of the first diagram. Let's see the second diagram. Okay, according to the second diagram, you can observe that in the second diagram, this main scale is calibrated in 0.5 millimeter. That is, normally the pitch of the screw should be 0.5 millimeter. Then, okay, to obtain 0.01 millimeter least count, you need to divide the circular scale into 50 division. Then you can get 0.01 millimeter least count. That is, the circular scale calibrated divided into 50 divisions, right? You should know this scale is calibrated clockwise direction. This one is 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then this one should be 49, 48. Got it? This 48 division align with the principal line, reference line. Reading of the scale is the gap between main scale 0 and circular scale. You need to find this gap. This gap is equal to, you can obtain reading up to 1.5 millimeter by using main scale. Then you need to find this unknown length. This unknown length is equal to 0.01 millimeter. This one is the least count length corresponding to 1 circular scale division, right? Rotation of 1 circular division. Axial distance corresponding to rotation of 1 circular scale division, right, Puthe? Into there are 48 divisions, no? Then into 48, then the answer is 0.5 millimeter plus 0.48 millimeter. Answer is 1.98 millimeter. This one is the answer. Now you have revised all the theory points related to basic micrometer screw gauge, right? If the main scale is calibrated in 1 millimeter, the circular scale divided into 100 division, pitch is 1 millimeter. If the main scale is calibrated in 0.5 millimeter, then the circular scale is divided into 50 divisions and pitch of the screw is 0.5 millimeter. These are the basic theory points you should know. And Puthe, you should know when this screw rotates towards the anti-clockwise direction, you can move this thimble and spindle towards the right side according to this diagram. When you rotate this screw, this thimble towards the clockwise direction, you can move this spindle and thimble towards the left side. And when this scale is calibrated in clockwise direction, When you rotate this thimble towards the anti-clockwise direction, you can obtain circular scale readings in ascending order. 0, 1, 2, 3. Got it? We discussed this theory point. I just revised the theory point, right? When you rotate this screw towards the clockwise direction, same as the calibration, then you can obtain this reading in descending order. These are the theory point you should revise by using these two questions, right, Pude? Let's see your question. Then we can discuss your question, right? Right, Pude. According to the diagram they have given, you can identify that this 1 centimeter length from here to here, in the main scale, they divide into 8 main scale division, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 main scale division from here to here. They divide 1 centimeter length into 8 main scale division. First of all, you need to find the length of main scale division, right? In the normal questions, in the usual question, the main scale is calibrated in half millimeter or 1 millimeter. No, right? There's a special point, right? The point is first you need to find the length of main scale division. Just find the length of main scale division. Length of a main scale division. 1 centimeter length, they divide into 8 divisions, no? That is 0.125 centimeter is the length of main scale division. Right, Pute? Then you can get an idea about the pitch of the screw. Now you know the length of main scale division, no? It is equal to most probably it is equal to the length of the pitch. When the circular scale rotate complete 1 revolution, this axial distance traveled by the spindle is equal to length of main scale division, right? Pitch is equal to the length of main scale division, right? Therefore, now you can find the least count of the scale. Least count is the axial distance corresponding to rotation of 1 circular scale division, right? Axial distance is for the pitch is 1.25 millimeter. Then, according to the question, they have given number of circular scale divisions. There are 50 divisions, right? You have to divide this length into 50 division. Then you can identify axial distance related to corresponding to 1 circular scale rotation of 1 circular scale division, right? Then the answer is 0.00 මෙතෙන්ට 125 වලට 50 දෙකයිනේ 25 centimeters, not millimeters. It should be centimeters. This one is the least count of the scale. Now you can get the reading for micrometer screw gauge. For screw principle, you can find the reading by considering gap between main scale 0 and circular scale. You need to find this gap. From here to here, the main scale reading is from here to here 1 centimeter. Now you know the length of 1 main scale division is 0.125, not 1 millimeter or 0.5 millimeter. It is 0.125 centimeter. This one is a special question. No? Now you can find length from here to here. Length is 1.125 centimeter. Then you need to find this unknown length by using circular scale and least count of the scale, right? Unknown length is, the least count of the scale is 0.0025 centimeter into how many divisions here? 21 circular division aligned with the reference line, principal line of the main scale into 21. 25. Then the answer is 0.0525 centimeter is the answer. Then you need to find the reading. Length from here to here, 1.125 millimeter plus 0.0525. Then a centimeters. 5, 7, 1.1775 centimeter. Which one is the answer? The answer is not given. Right, answer is not given. This one is the answer. I will explain the question from the beginning again. I will briefly explain the question. This question is a special question. Why? The length of main scale division is not equal to half millimeter or 1 millimeter. You need to find it. You can identify this length divided into 8 main scale division. Therefore, length of main scale division is 1.25 centimeter. That is, length of pitch should be equal to 1.25 centimeter. Then you can find the axial distance corresponding to one rotation of one division in the circular scale, least count. It is equal to 125 centimeter divided by 50. That is, least count is 0.025 centimeter. That is, when you rotate one division in the circular scale, axle, this screw will move 0.025 axial distance along the axis of the spindle, right? Then you can obtain the reading. Reading is from here to here. This one is 1 centimeter. This gap is not 0.5 millimeter or 1 millimeter. It is 0.125 centimeter. Then the main scale reading is 1.125 centimeter. Then you need to find this unknown length by using this least count and number of division aligned with the principal line, right? Then you can get the reading. Reading is 1.1775 centimeter. This answer is not given, unfortunately, right? But you should know how to find the answers. This, right? පුතේ බලන්න ඔයාලා theory දන්නව නම් you can find the answer anyway, right? ඒක නිසා try කරන්න. හරිද? Basically දැන් මේ question එක අපි didn't discuss in our class no. But මේ සමහර අය මේ question එකට answers අරගෙන ඒක පට්ට තේරෙනවද? එතකොට ඔයාලා try කරන්න ඕන theory එක absorb කරාම question එක මොන විදියට දුන්නත් you can obtain the answers. Right? Right, පුතේ, let's see the next question. Right, Budhe, now we have discussed two basic questions related to screw principle and micrometer screw gauge. Then we have discussed a special question, right? Then we are going to discuss about positive and negative errors, right? Right, Budhe, let's see the second question. This question is related to negative zero error. I will explain the question. First, read the question, Budhe. Figure shows the scale reading of a micrometer screw gauge. First diagram shows the position of the main scale and thimble, circular scale related to zero error. Second diagram shows the reading, right? Then first you should identify these 2 points. Puthe, did you see this main scale zero division is disappeared? And here you can observe less than half of the main scale zero mark. Zero mark එකෙන් භාගයකට වඩා අඩුවෙන් පේන්නේ and main scale zero division is disappeared. That is, this thimble move towards the left side, right? To move the thimble towards the left side, respect to this diagram, you need to rotate this thimble towards the clockwise direction. When you rotate the thimble towards the clockwise direction, the spindle will move towards the anvil. This one is the anvil, no? And spindle move with the thimble towards the same direction, right? Therefore, you can say this error is due to a worn out layer between anvil and the thimble. If there is a worn out layer, spindle can further move towards the anvil, right? Got it? Right. And you should know when this thimble is rotated towards the clockwise direction, you will obtain reading in the descending order. This one should be 49, this one should be 48, this one should be 47. That is, these 3 divisions, this thimble rotate 3 divisions towards the clockwise direction. Then you can find the error. Error is 0.01 millimeter into 3. This type of error is called negative zero error. When you obtain reading by using such a micrometer screw gauge, your reading will be 0.03 millimeter less than the true value. Why? The object moves towards the left side, no? Therefore, the front end reading decreases. Got it? You will obtain reading 0.03 millimeter less than the real value. To correct the answer, to correct the reading, you need to add this error to your reading, right? Let's see the reading. This one is the reading. No? You can obtain reading is the gap between main scale 0 and circular scale. You need to find this gap from here to here. You can obtain a main scale reading up to 0.5 millimeter. Then you need to find this unknown length. You can observe that 30th. This coincide, align with the reference line, principal line of the main scale, right? This reference line. Then 0.01, this gap should be 0.01 millimeter into 30 divisions, no? Then answer is 0.80 millimeter. Right, this one is the reading. Then you can obtain the corrected value. To obtain the corrected value, you need to add this error, this negative error to your answer. Corrected reading is 0.80 millimeter plus 0.03 millimeter. Then the answer is 0.83 millimeter. Figure shows the scale reading of, question number 3. Figure shows the scale of micrometer screw gauge, right? When the spindle and the anvil touch each other. Figure B shows, figure A shows, that is figure A shows the 0 error, right? Figure B shows the reading, right? Pitch of the screw is 0.5 millimeter. All the points they have given. When you observe the diagram, you can identify pitch is 0. Main scale is calibrated in half millimeter. That is, pitch should be half millimeter. Then to obtain 0.01 millimeter least count, circular scale should be divided into 50 divisions. මේවා easy case නියනේ දැන්. මේවා ටිකක් ගාලා එන්න ඕන තේරුණානේ. ටොටොක්ස් ගාලා එන්න ඕන ළමයි. Right? බලන්න. Then first find the reading. පුතේ. These are the points you should know. In this diagram, you can observe more than half of the main scale 0. That is, this circular scale move towards the right side. To move towards the right side, not only circular scale, this spindle, thimble, head, මේ ඔක්කොම points මොකද මේ ඔක්කොම parts මොකද වෙන්නේ? They move towards the right side. පුතේ මෙයාලා right side එකට move වෙන්න නම් you need to rotate this thimble towards the towards the anti-clockwise direction. When you rotate this thimble towards the anti-clockwise direction, did you remember? You can rotate your thread. When you rotate the thread towards the anti-clockwise direction, it will move towards the right side. You can obtain this direction by using right hand grip rule. Did you remember? We discussed this theory point. When the thimble rotates towards the anti-clockwise direction, when this thimble is rotated towards the anti-clockwise direction, you can obtain reading in the ascending order. Right? But you can obtain the circular scale reading in ascending order. Right? These are the points you should know. And this error is called positive 0 error. There can be a rusting layer between anvil and spindle. Therefore, spindle move towards the right side. The thickness of the rusting layer you can obtain considering these 3 circular scale divisions. The thickness of rusting layer or error should be equal to 0.01 millimeter into 3. 0.03 millimeter is the error. Correct? Today, this one is called positive error. Why? When you obtain reading using this micrometer screw gauge, that reading 0.03 millimeter greater than the real value. That's why we called positive 0 error. Reading is greater than the real value. That's why we call positive 0 error. To correct your reading, to obtain the corrected reading, you need to deduct this error from your reading. Got my point? Right. These are the points you should know. Right. I summarize karam. What are the points you should know for the positive 0 error? You can observe more than half of the main scale 0, and you can clearly observe main scale 0 division, and you should be able to identify this circular scale rotated towards the anti-clockwise direction and move towards the right side with the spindle. There can be a rusting layer between anvil and spindle. That's why spindle move towards the right side. Then when the thimble move to anti-clockwise direction, you can obtain circular scale reading in ascending order, right? Here the circular scale reading is 3 into 0.01 millimeter. Then the gap between anvil and spindle, thickness of the rusting layer or error is 0.03 millimeter. And you will get reading 0.03 millimeter greater than the real value. To obtain the correct value, you need to deduct this value from your answer, right? These are the points you should know, right? Now you can get the reading. This one is the reading, no? බලන්න ළමයි reading එක කීයද කියලා. You can obtain a 3.5 millimeter up to 3.5 millimeter by using main scale. Then you need to find this unknown length by using circular scale and least count. Least count is 0.01 millimeter ne puthi. Into circular scale, 31 circular scale division coincide with the principal line or reference line. 31 ne? Oh. Then 30 මෙයාට ගෙන් add කරන්න ඕන කවුද? 0.31 millimeter. What should be the what should be the reading now? 3.81 millimeter. To obtain corrected value for positive zero error, you need to deduct. Now you have to obtain corrected reading ne පුතේ. To obtain corrected reading, you need to deduct 0.03 millimeter zero error from your reading. Then the answer is මෙතන 11න් 3ක් ගියන් 8යි 2.78 millimeter. Not 3.78 නේ. ඔව්. 3.78 millimeter. බලන්න answer එක තියෙනවද කියලා. third one. Answer is the third one. කො බලන්න එක හරියයි? කො ඉක්මනට. නියමයි. ඉතුරු අයත්. First you need to identify. Then now you know all the points, right? Positive zero error, negative zero error, special question, normal questions, right? පොතේ දැක්කද සර්ටියුට් එක හදපු order එක, right? Then we can discuss special questions, right? Then we have to discuss two special questions related to positive and negative zero error. Then we can discuss another special questions, all other special questions, right? ඔව් මේ ඔක්කොම පට්ට මේක මම මේවා බං ක්ලාස් එකේ මම didn't teach මම මේවා ඉගෙනුවේ නැහැ. මේ ඔක්කොටම ඔයාලා answers දෙන්න හිතලා. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාලා question එකේ theory එක absorb කළා. ඉතින් ඕක තමයි ඕන. මම මේ question එකම class එකේ කරලා ආයි paper class එකේ මේක කළා වැඩක් නැහැ නේ පුතේ. right? මම theory points ටික class එකේ ඉදා ඉගෙනුවා. ඔයාලා මේවට answers ගත්තා කියන්නේ පට්ට. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාලා තනියෙන් හිතලා. right? නියමයි. Right, Pute, let's see the question, fourth question, right? Read the question. The true thickness of a coin obtained using micrometer screw gauge is 0.42 millimeter. They have given the true thickness, right? When the anvil and the spindle were in contact, 47 division of the circular scale align with the reference line of the main scale. They have given that when the anvil and spindle are in contact, 47 division of the circular scale align with the reference line. Pute, in this diagram, 47 division of the circular scale align with the reference line of the main scale, right? Pute, you can observe that according to the given data, both type of errors may be present here. Negative zero error එකක් තියෙන්නත් පුළුවන්, positive zero error එකක් තියෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. Let me explain. If this thimble rotate towards the clockwise direction, it will move, if it move 3 divisions, then the error is 0.01 millimeter into 3, 0.03 millimeter. Got it? That is, this thimble moves 0.03 millimeter distance towards the left side. Okay, this one is the spindle, no? This one is the immovable part, anvil. If there is a worn out layer between anvil and spindle, this spindle will move towards the anvil this distance. And when you obtain reading using such a micrometer screw gauge, your reading will 0.03 millimeter less than the true value. Right? To obtain the true value, you have to add this error to your reading. One point related to this question is that your reading will 0.03 millimeter less than the corrected value. Now you know the corrected value. Corrected value is 0.2 millimeter. When you obtain your reading, your reading will be 0.03 millimeter less than the corrected value. That is, reading should be 0.39 millimeter. This one is the reading. Right? Now you can identify the position of the main scale and circular scale respect to this reading. This one is the 0 mark of the main scale. Then 39 division of the circular scale will align with the principal line, this reference line. This one should be 40. This one should be 38. Right? Got it? Right. You should remember this error is negative 0 error due to if there is a worn out layer between anvil and spindle, spindle will further move towards the anvil. Therefore, this thimble will rotate towards the clockwise direction. These are the 3 divisions. The thimble is rotated. When the thimble rotates 3 divisions towards the clockwise direction, error is 0.03 millimeter. When you obtain reading using such a micrometer screw gauge, your reading will be less than your reading 0.03 millimeter less than the corrected value. They have given the corrected value. Therefore, your reading is 0.03 millimeter. To correct this reading, you have to add this error to your answer. When you add 0.03 millimeter to your reading, you will obtain the corrected value. Right? Here they have given the corrected value. No? Therefore, reading should be 0.03 millimeter less than the corrected value. This one is the corrected value. This one is the reading. Right? This one is the reading. Then this one is the answer. But you need to consider the second error. Positive 0 error. If there is a positive 0 error, this 47 division will coincide with the principal line, reference line of the main scale. Then 2, that is this circular scale rotate 47 division towards the anticlockwise direction. When it rotates 47 division towards the anticlockwise direction, the circular scale will move and also the spindle will move towards the right side. Therefore, the error is 0.01 millimeter into 47. 0.47. Reason for this error is there can be rusting layer between and the spindle. Therefore, spindle will move certain distance towards the right side. Right? This type of error is called positive 0 error. When you obtain reading using such a micrometer screw gauge, your reading will be greater than the corrected value, real value. Right? To obtain the corrected value, you need to deduct this error from your answer. But the important point is when you obtain reading using such a micrometer screw gauge, your reading will be 0.47 millimeter greater than the real value. They have given the reading. They have given the true value. Therefore, your reading will be greater than 0.47 millimeter. 0.47 millimeter greater than the true value. They have given the true value. Therefore, the reading is 89 and reading is 0.89 millimeter. You should remember you will obtain reading 0.47 millimeter greater than the corrected value. To obtain the corrected value, you need to deduct 0.47 millimeter from your reading. Right? They have given the corrected value. No? Therefore, the reading is 0.47 millimeter greater than the true value. Right? Then you can draw the diagram. You should identify 0. 89 millimeter means 0.50 millimeter length of main scale division plus another 39 millimeter divisions, right? 0.39 millimeter divisions. Therefore, now you can draw the scale. This one is the main scale. Here you can observe the first main scale division, 0.5 millimeter division, and this circular scale division should be 39. This one should be 39. Then main scale reading is 0.5 millimeter. Another, this unknown length is 0.01 millimeter into 39. Then the total length between main scale 0 and the circular scale is 0.5 millimeter plus 0.01 millimeter into 39, right? But this one is not given, right? Therefore, the correct answer is this one. But my question, you need to consider about both negative and positive zero error, right? And they have given the corrected value. You should know if there is a negative zero error, your reading will be less than 0.03 millimeter. You are reading 0.03 millimeter less than the corrected value. That's why you have to deduct this, right? And if there is a positive zero error, your reading will be 0.47 millimeter greater than the real value. Correct? Right. These are the two positions of the readings. Next, this instrument is used to verify the diameter of a metal sphere's armor. Again, the correct value is given. Corrected value is given. Corrected reading should be 1.250 centimeter. But can you convert this value into millimeters? 12.50 millimeters. Corrected value is 12.50 millimeters. But in this question, the first diagram is given. Therefore, you need to consider only about the negative zero error. Diagram එක දීලා තියෙනවනේ. But you need to identify the difference between question number 4 and question number 5. In question number 4, the diagram is not given related to zero error, right? Therefore, you need to consider two instances, positive zero error and negative zero error. But in this question, they have given the diagram related to error. ඒක නිසා ඔයාලට මේක ඉඳලා ඉස්සරහට යන්න පුළුවන්. Got the difference? Right. Let's see the question. බලන්න. Right. You know, the main scale zero division is totally disappear. ඇත්තරම ළමයි මේකෙදි main scale 0 එක ටිකක් පේන්න ඕන, but it doesn't matter. You can identify that this circular scale move towards the left side, that is spindle move towards the anvil. There can be a worn out layer between anvil and spindle, right? Then this error is called negative zero error. Circular scale rotated towards the clockwise direction. Then you can obtain circular scale readings in the descending order. 49, 48, 47. That is the error is corresponding to these divisions. No? Error should be equal to 0.01 millimeter into 3. Right? Error is 0.03 millimeter. And you will obtain reading when you find a reading, find a length by using this micrometer screw gauge. You will obtain reading 0.03 millimeter shorter than the true length. The true length is given. The true length is 12.50 millimeter. This one is the true length or corrected length. You will obtain, but due to this negative zero error, you will obtain your reading 0.03 millimeter less than the corrected length or true length. That is, reading should be මේකට වඩා ළමයි කොච්චරද අඩු වෙන්න ඕන කීයක්ද 7 4 12 millimeters. Your reading will be 12.47.
Right, Pudhe, let's see the question number 6. Right, Pudhe, in this question, they have given diagram. By using this diagram, you need to identify the zeroth error and how to correct the error. Right, Pudhe, you can observe that in this diagram, you can observe that the main scale, zero division and zero mark disappear. That is, the circular scale move towards the left side and rotate towards the which direction? Clockwise direction. Then you can say there are 3 division rotate towards the clockwise direction. Why? You can observe that 47th circular scale division mark align with the principal line, no? This reference line, no? 47th circular division mark align with the reference line of the main scale. Therefore, you can say this scale rotate 3 divisions towards the clockwise direction. Therefore, the error is 0.01 millimeter into 3, 0.03 millimeter. To obtain corrected value, you need to add this error to your answer. This error is called negative error. No? We discussed. No? Puthe, එවුනට මෙතන important point එකක් තියෙනවා. See, you can observe that main scale zero division is disappear. And main scale zero mark is totally disappear. Puthe, that is, if the circular scale had rotated only 3 divisions towards the clockwise direction. මෙයා 3 divisions විතරයි නම් clockwise direction එකට ගියේ. This circular scale will move 0.03 millimeter distance towards the left side. Right? පුතේ එහෙම දුරක් වුණා කියලා 0 division එක completely disappear වෙන්න බෑනේ. Got it? පුතේ at least a small part of the zero mark would be visible. දැන් මේකේ ළමයි මෙයාගේ zero mark එකේ පොඩ්ඩක්වත් පේන්නේ නැහැ. That is, this circular scale can be rotated 3 divisions and another 1 revolution. 3 divisions කියන්නේ 3යි, another 1 revolutions කියන්නේ 50, 53. 3 divisions කියන්නේ 3 millimeters. 3 divisions and another 1 revolution, 50. Then 53 divisions. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔක්කොම 0.01 millimeter into 53. Or 3 divisions and another 2 revolutions. 3 divisions කියනකොට 3යි, another 2 revolutions කියනකොට 50 plus 50 divisions. 103 මේ වගේ වෙලාවෙදිත් 0 එක completely disappear වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Therefore, answers මේව වෙන්න පුළුවන්. If it just rotate 3 divisions, answer is 0.03 millimeter. But here the 0 division is totally, 0 mark is totally disappear. No? Therefore, it can be moved 0.53 millimeter or 1.03 millimeter. මෙහෙම එනවා පුතේ just 3 divisions එයා clockwise direction එකට rotate වුණා නම් මේ විදියට එනවා එයා 3 divisions and another complete rotation. එතකොට අතෙන්ට 3යි තව complete එකක් යනකොට 50යි. මේක එනවා 3 divisions and another 2 complete rotation. Got it? එතකොට මේකේ answer එක වෙන්නේ පුතේ B හරි C හරි. තේරුණා නේද? Right. Only C කියන එක ගන්නත් බෑ. ඇයි ළමයි only C කියන එක ගන්න බැරි? ඒකට answer එකක් දීලා නෑනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ totally disappear වුණා කියලා අපිට මේක අතාරින්න බෑ. ඒක නිසා වලට ගන්න වෙනවා මේ දෙන්නව. Got it? B and C හරි. Right. First එක කරන්න දෙයක් නෑනේ කොහොමත් ඔයාලට තේරෙනවා මේකේ 0 division and 0 mark disappear. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙයා positive 0 error එකක් වෙන්න බෑ. It should be a negative 0 error, right? So the answers B and C. Right. Let's see the next question. Right, Puthe, this question is a good question, right? We discuss same questions in the vernier theory, right? Let's see the question. Puthe, you can observe that the main scale is calibrated in millimeters. That is, the pitch of the screw is that is the pitch of the screw is 1 millimeter. Then to obtain 0.01 least count, 0.01 millimeter least count, you need to divide circular scale into 100 division. Why? The pitch is 1 millimeter, no? Then you can calibrate circular scale from 0, then 1, 2 towards the clockwise direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, then this one should be 99, 98, 97. Right, Puthe? These are the points you should know, you should be able to identify by using this diagram, right? Let's see the answer. Right. So then now you have to take the reading. Now you have to obtain the reading by considering main scale and circular scale. The reading is the gap between main scale 0 and the circular scale. The main scale reading is 2 millimeter. Then you need to find this unknown length by using circular scale. Here you can observe that the divisions of the circular scale do not coincide with the main scale. එක්කෙනෙක්වත් coincide වෙලා නැහැ. Right? In such a situation, to obtain circular scale reading, you need to consider nearest circular scale division to the principal line of the main scale. Main scale එකේ reference line එකට වැඩියෙන්ම ළඟ තියෙන කෙනා. Then you can observe that පුතේ මේ 99 division එකනේ මෙයාට ළඟින් තියෙන්නේ. Right? මෙයා තමයි ළඟ තියෙන කෙනා. Then the reading is 0.01 millimeter into 99. Right? Not 98. එයා තියෙන්නේ දුරින්. Answer is 2.99 millimeter. This one is the reading. Right? මතක තියාගන්න මේ දෙන්නගෙන් එක්කෙනෙක්වත් මෙයාත් එක්ක coincide වෙලා නැත්තම් you need to consider the nearest division to the main scale principal line. Got it? Right පුතේ? අපි ඊතුරු questions දෙක discuss කරමු ඔයාලගේ theory class එකේදී. අපි අදට මෙතනින් කතාව ඉවර කරනවා. Right? Right.